President Cyril Ramaphosa is hosting his Ivorian counterpart, President Alassane Ouattara, in Pretoria. Let's take you live to that.
Thank you, Program Director, Ambassador Losi, Your Excellency, President Alassane Ouattara, President of Côte d'Ivoire, ministers and deputy ministers and officials and members of the media. Under the powers vested in me by Section 84 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, I now confer on President Alassane Ouattara the Order of South Africa. He shall henceforth be honored as an esteemed member of our national orders. The people of South Africa salute you, President Ouattara.
You're most welcome. Thank you. You're most welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Order of South Africa is hereby bestowed on His Excellency President Alassane Ouattara for your admirable and continuing efforts in fostering warm relations between South Africa and Côte d'Ivoire, the strengthening of economic cooperation and goodwill between the peoples of both nations. Mr. President.
Face the other way, President.
This? Yes. Okay.
And then hand over this to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Put it down somewhere. You done? Just want to go.
Thank you very much. That concludes the bestowal of the national orders. We'll now commence with the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa and the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. The two principals will witness the signing ceremony.
Yes,
It's lovely. Thank you.
well, Mr. President, I have to show this to everyone, to my delegation. It's really a very great honor that you bestowed on me and on the people of Côte d'Ivoire, and really my utmost thanks, and I am so proud for Côte d'Ivoire to be recognized here in this big country, in this great country. Thank you very much again. Merci.
Get a good photograph, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We will now commence the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa and the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. The two principals will witness the signing ceremony of 5 memorandum of understanding between the government of the Republic of South Africa and the government of Côte d'Ivoire. We will now begin with a bilateral agreement between the two countries on cooperation in the field We will now begin with the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the National School of Government and L'École Nationale d'Administration from Côte, and the signatories will be Mr. Ngaweni and Mrs. Kaure.
You have to stand up first until she sits down. Busan, Pagam until she sits down. Oh, a gentleman. Oh, very gentleman now. Be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I now have the honor Vice Minister Mbalula. I now have the honor to invite Minister Mbalula and Mr. Côte sign the Memorandum of Understanding on transport-related matters. Thank you very much, Ministers. And now invite Mr. Mtetwa and Mr. Kamara sign the Memorandum of Understanding in the field of sports and education. Ministers.
Thank you very much, Ministers. Thank you, Ministers. I now have the honor to invite Minister Patel and Minister Diarra to sign the Memorandum of Understanding on Economic Cooperation. Ministers.
That's phenomenal. It's really so important. No, this is really it's very, and it just from the implementation point of view. Yes, it shows that
Thank you very much.
Doing things.
Thank you.
Welcome. Well done. Well done.
May I now invite Minister and Minister Chakba to sign the Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in Forest and Wildlife Resources. Ministers. Thank you very much, Ministers. You may shake hands. Thank you, Ministers. Lastly, may I now invite Minister Zulu and Minister Dogo to sign the agreement on cooperation in the field of social development and social inclusion. Ministers. Thank you, ministers. Thank you. Thank you very much, ministers. We have now come to the end of the signing ceremony. I would like to thank their excellencies, President Ramaphosa and President Ouattara, for witnessing this ceremony. I will now hand over to my colleague, spokesperson to the President, Mr. Magwenya, to facilitate the press briefing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Lucy. Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'll now commence with our media briefing. President Ramaphosa will kick us off with his remarks, followed by President Ouattara. Thereafter, we will have a round of questions. We will take two rounds of questions. One from colleagues from Côte d'Ivoire, another round from colleagues from South Africa, and each round will have 3 questions. I'd like to know about President Ramaphosa.
Thank you very much, President Ouattara and myself, and together with our respective delegations have just concluded what I characterize as very warm and productive discussions between ourselves. It is a matter of great significance that soon after we had come back from a visit in December to Côte d'Ivoire, we today welcome President Ouattara and his delegation. It is an indication of our shared commitment to strengthen bilateral relations between our two countries. During our visit to Abidjan in December, we signed 9 agreements and memoranda of understanding. Today, we have witnessed the signing of 6 additional agreements. During our discussions, we reviewed the implementation of existing agreements and identified a number of areas where we could have further cooperation between our two nations. Together, these agreements signal the broad scope of our cooperation, covering political, economic, cultural, social, and military areas. These agreements cover areas of common interest between our two nations, such as women's empowerment and gender equality, youth development, education, employment, sports, social development, as well as social inclusion. The agreements in the main will improve cooperation in economic sectors that have been prioritized as part of the Ivorian National Development Plan of 2021 to 2025, and that are important for South Africa's economic reconstruction and recovery plan. The economic sectors themselves include mining, oil and gas, agriculture, communication and information technology. They also cover defense, transport, as well as forestry. As part of our shared interest in building a capable developmental state, our respective schools of government have entered into a cooperation agreement as well. Trade between our two countries is steadily improving. On our side, it has improved by almost 25%, and on the Ivorian side, it has boomed by almost 200%. South Africa's exports to Côte d'Ivoire have recovered from a decline in 2019, and in the value of imports from Côte d'Ivoire, these have doubled in the last 5 years. Several South African companies We are pleased to say that operate in the Côte Ivorian industries, or market rather, in industries such as telecommunications, broadcasting, banking, and insurance. There are significant opportunities for investment, as we did say then when we took a 170-strong business delegation to Côte d'Ivoire last year. There are opportunities in several other industries in Côte d'Ivoire. And these opportunities are opportunities that need to be further explored, and we as government will be underpinning the relationship between the two nations through various bilateral agreements going forward that will enable our private sector companies to play a role in the Ivorian economy as well as Ivorian companies in the South African economy. We will also be exploring opportunities through engagements such as the South Africa-Côte d'Ivoire Business Forum, which President Ouattara and myself will be attending this afternoon. They have already been busy at work since this morning, signifying the commitment of the private sector as well to play a key role in strengthening the relations, even at a business and economic level, between the two countries. We expect trade, investment, and tourism between our two nations to be further enhanced by the commencement of flights by Air Côte d'Ivoire between Johannesburg and Abidjan. This is likely to contribute to increased traffic, not only between the two countries, but also between South Africa and the West African region. We expect the commencement of the African Continental Free Trade Area to provide a further boost to our trade relations. And I know that the business people who are gathered since this morning will be looking very closely at how the African Continental Free Trade Area will be able to enhance their trade businesses. We also, in our discussions, discussed security and the stability of our respective regions, and more particularly across the continent as well. We welcome the important role played by Côte d'Ivoire in contributing to peace and stability in West Africa, and pledged our support within the framework of the Defense Cooperation Agreement signed in December of 2021. We also noted the importance of multilateralism within the global system of governance. We agreed to continue to defend and promote the primacy of the United Nations in resolving the challenges facing the international community. We are united, both nations, in our determination to work together to build a prosperous Africa, an Africa that is based on inclusive growth, sustainable development, good governance, democracy, and an expansive respect for human rights, justice, and the rule of law. In appreciation of the contribution that His Excellency President Ouattara has made and the progress that he continues to make to the furtherance of the friendship between our two nations, it was indeed a few minutes ago my great honor to bestow on President Ouattara the Order of South Africa. The Order of South Africa in gold is awarded to heads of states and government who have distinguished themselves in the work that they do, to the President of the Republic of South Africa. Your Excellency, it has been a great honor to to welcome you to our country, and I personally look forward to deepening our cooperation in the interests of our peoples and in the interests of our continent. Already what you and I committed to in December in Côte d'Ivoire, in Abidjan, is already bearing a great deal of fruit. You just whispered to me that of the 9 agreements that were signed, 6 of them have already been ratified by your parliament. But more than that, we've already seen implementation. But the type of implementation that is bearing a great deal of fruit. The increase in investment and trade between our 2 nations fully justifies the decisions that we took in December to expand and to deepen the relationship between our 2 nations. So it is a real pleasure to welcome you here, and thank you very much for honoring us with your presence and your visit here. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I will now invite His Excellency, President Ouattara, to deliver his remarks.
Monsieur le Président, cher frère,
Mr. President, dear friend, brother, I'm very happy to be in South Africa at this occasion of this state visit. As I said it earlier on, it's not my first visit in this beautiful country, but it's the first one of as a state visit. I would like to tell you how much proud we are to have received your invite and to be in your beautiful country among yourselves for some days. I would like to express my thanks for your admirable invite and also a warm welcome and brotherly welcome that it had been accorded to us. I would like also, Mr. President, to reiterate my thanks for the state visit that you did in Côte d'Ivoire on the 2nd and the 3rd December of last year with a huge delegation of officials and business people, and as much as the media that you came with. As you say, that it was 170 members from the business community that came with you in Abidjan. We are seeing already the result of these exchanges and the contact